morning, homie dogs. I am making some delicious sausage. I love to hear sausage sizzling in the pan. Before we go any farther, if you guys are liking the morning show, give me a thumbs up right now. I am so tempted to put some of these on a low-carb wrap with like some picante sauce and cheese, but I just don't want all those extra carbs right now. Really trying to get back into this. And especially the wrap, you know, it's kind of like bread, and I need to get myself off the bread thing. The more of that kind of stuff I have, the more difficult it is to work my way into this type of eating again. Really wanted to make some of those waffles, those low-carb waffles with this morning, but I just have a lot to do, and that takes a little bit more time that I want to put in. So, sausage it is. Okay, being Saturday morning, let's talk about something awesome and Saturday morning-ish. Cartoons. I am 42 years old, and guys, I remember when I was growing up, when I was a little kid, probably like 7, 8 years old, Saturday mornings were the greatest thing in the world. We didn't have like the 24-hour Cartoon Network or anything like that. You literally had to wait for Saturday morning to watch the cartoons. I specifically remember watching a block of cartoons called Saturday Supercade, which was basically a bunch of cartoons that were based on arcade games like Pac-Man and stuff like that. I also remember watching things like the Smurfs, Snorks, the Littles. Let's see, there was Muppet Babies. Let's see, I think Pee-wee's Playhouse. I love Pee-wee's Playhouse, but I think that kind of came on a little bit later. Now, what we would do on Saturday mornings is my parents always wanted to get up and go out to breakfast. We lived in a little town called Andover, which I'm going to take you guys to one of these days as soon as I can get out there. My favorite place in the world. I absolutely love that little town. But that's where we lived. My dad was the preacher down the street in a church. And on Saturday mornings, my parents would get up, they always wanted to go out to breakfast, and they'd ask us if we wanted to go. Well, our thought process first was, no, we want to sit home, play with GoBots and Transformers and G.I. Joe, and watch cartoons. But we also knew that if we were to go out to breakfast with them, what it would cost for our individual breakfast was enough for us to each get an individual box of the good cereal. Because we never had good cereal in the house. It was always stuff like Corn Flakes and Chex and stuff like that. But on Saturday mornings, we could finagle them into getting us the good cereal. And what I mean by that is like Lucky Charms, Cap'n Crunch. At the time, there was like Mr. T cereal and C-3PO, Half C's. I remember one called Ice Cream Cones. My name's Ice Cream Jones. Do-do-do-do-do.
My name's Ice Cream Jones. I'm bringing the kids my ice cream cones.
And so what we would do is, my mom always made us look for a coupon because it was expensive. You know, the good cereal's always expensive. So my mom would make us look for a coupon, which we usually didn't have. Then what we would do is we would tell them, get us each a good box of cereal and bring it back first. Like, bring us our cereal first, and then you guys can go out and enjoy your breakfast. And I remember it was so funny. We would stay... We would stand outside as they were pulling out of the driveway, and we were yelling at them, "Bring it back first!" We didn't want to have to wait an hour and a half for them to go out and sit there and enjoy breakfast, and then finally bring us our cereal. We wanted the cereal right now so we could sit there and enjoy it while we played with our toys and watch cartoons. As they drove away down the street, we're both standing there going, "Bring it back first! First!" It was hilarious. So they would bring us back our cereal, and we would each get the biggest bowl we could find, and I'm talking about like a big mixing bowl. We'd pour as much of that cereal as we could get in the bowl, fill it up with milk, and then just plop down in front of the TV. It was the greatest time of my life. The other funny thing that we used to do, though, at the time was, with our parents gone, we would always be cussing. And back in the day, we had the tape recorders. I'll put a picture up here right now so you see what I mean, for those of you who don't know. But you used a cassette, you put it in a tape recorder, and then you could record stuff, you know, or whatever. Well, what we would do is, we would get each other cussing, and then... we would be so paranoid that both of us at the same time would stop whatever we were doing after we were cussing. We were like, "You got a recorder." Because even though at that time sitting there eating giant bowls of cereal and watching awesome cartoons and playing with G.I. Joe guys, we were like best friends right at that time. We still were enemies. We still were brothers. So we would try to get a recorder, set it up, hit record, slide it under the chair, and catch the other one cussing so we could tell our parents. So stupid. But that's what we did, and it was so much fun. And there was only one time when I caught my brother cussing. I'd slide the recorder under there, and I'd start cussing and kind of enticing him to get going. And then I'd reach under there real stealth, and I'd push the record button, and he'd start going on and on cussing and doing whatever. And so I caught him the one time. And I looked down the street, and here come my parents and my sister walking back from going to breakfast. The town was just a little town, so you could walk everywhere. And I went running, booking down the street with this tape recorder. And I told them, and I gave him the tape. And my brother is sitting back at the house trying to come up with some excuse for how he can get out of this. And I just remember when we came in the house... He totally tried to turn the tables on me. As soon as we walked in the house, he says, "I got Nathan on tape cussing." And he tried to just pass it off as me. So, I mean, honestly, I don't remember anymore. I don't remember if either one of us ever got in trouble for it. But man, that was hilarious. We were such idiots. We just had so much fun on Saturday mornings. And then, of course, after all the cartoons and everything, we'd go outside, spend the rest of the day running around the neighborhood with the neighbor kids. You know, usually fighting with them or whatever. Man, Saturdays back in the day were just the greatest time ever. That's all I have to say about that. I want to know about your Saturdays, or if you have anything specific like that that you just absolutely love and you want to share with me. Comment below. I'd love to hear about it. Other than that, guys, no matter what time you're waking up or where you're at, make the best of this awesome Saturday. Do something for somebody else, pay it forward, and let's make this world a better place. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.